Scientists have issued a stark warning that by 2040, the world as we know it will be profoundly different. The climate is changing faster than ever before, and human activity is pushing the planet to its limits. Rising global temperatures, extreme weather events, and melting glaciers are just the beginning of the changes that lie ahead. By 2040, sea levels could rise by several feet, displacing millions of people living in coastal cities. Floods, hurricanes, and storms will become more frequent and severe, challenging communities around the globe. Agriculture will face immense pressure as rainfall patterns shift and droughts become more common. Food security may be at risk, particularly in developing nations that are already vulnerable. Freshwater resources will be increasingly scarce, creating tensions over water access. The combination of climate change and human population growth will create challenges never before faced in human history. But the dangers are not only environmental. Technological and societal changes will also have profound impacts. Artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation are rapidly transforming the global economy. Millions of jobs may be replaced by machines, and society will need to adapt quickly. Education, training, and lifelong learning will become critical for survival in this rapidly changing world. Healthcare systems will face unprecedented challenges as climate-related diseases increase and resources become strained. Urbanization will accelerate, and megacities will struggle to accommodate growing populations. Social inequalities may widen if governments and institutions fail to implement effective policies. Energy systems will need to transition to renewable sources, and reliance on fossil fuels must be drastically reduced. The choices humanity makes today will shape the world of 2040. If immediate action is taken, it is still possible to mitigate the worst effects of climate change. Renewable energy, conservation, and sustainable practices can collectively reduce the environmental impact. Every individual action, from reducing plastic use to conserving water and energy, contributes to a larger solution. Forests must be protected, oceans cleaned, and ecosystems preserved to maintain the balance of life on Earth. Time is critical. Every day of inaction increases the risk of catastrophic outcomes. Scientific models indicate that without intervention, 2040 could see unprecedented global disruption. Coastal cities will face flooding and erosion, forcing millions to relocate. Extreme heat waves, storms, and unpredictable weather patterns will disrupt daily life, agriculture, and infrastructure. The most vulnerable populations, including children, the elderly, and those in developing regions, will suffer the most. Technological advancements provide opportunities, but also risks. Automation and AI may replace traditional labor, creating new social challenges and economic displacement. Governments and communities will need to collaborate to manage these transitions and ensure social stability. Education, policy, and public awareness are key to preparing societies for the changes ahead. The world of 2040 will demand resilience, adaptability, and innovation. Our energy consumption, resource management, and environmental practices will determine whether humanity thrives or struggles. Renewable energy solutions like solar, wind, and hydro must be scaled rapidly. Sustainable urban planning, efficient transportation, and green infrastructure will be essential for the survival of modern cities. Water scarcity will challenge agriculture, industry, and human health, necessitating careful planning and conservation. The impact of human behavior on climate change is undeniable. Our current lifestyle choices have long-term consequences. Even small actions, when multiplied across millions, can create significant positive change. International cooperation will be essential to address these global challenges. No single country can manage climate change, technological disruption, or social instability alone. Collaboration, shared knowledge, and mutual support will be the keys to survival in 2040. The future is not predetermined, but without immediate action, the risks are immense. If humanity fails to act, future generations will face environmental disasters, economic hardship, and social upheaval. If action is taken now, it is still possible to create a world that is sustainable, safe, and prosperous. Scientists emphasize that time is of the essence, and the decisions we make today will echo for decades to come. From rising seas to technological revolutions, the changes are already underway. Our response must be proactive, coordinated, and urgent. Environmental policies must be strengthened, renewable energy scaled, and conservation prioritized. Technological innovation should be guided by ethics and sustainability, ensuring that AI and automation benefit all of humanity. Social policies must focus on equality, opportunity, and resilience to withstand the shocks of a changing world. The warnings from science are clear, but hope remains if action is taken immediately. Each citizen has a role to play, from adopting sustainable practices to advocating for systemic change. Global cooperation, informed decision-making, and responsible stewardship of the planet are more critical than ever. The next 2 decades will define the trajectory of human civilization. From 2040 onward, the world may look completely different, shaped by the choices and actions of today. Sea levels, extreme weather, technological transformation, and social evolution will converge to create a world that is either resilient or in crisis. The question is not whether change will occur, but whether we are ready to guide it. Our planet's future rests in our hands, and the opportunity to influence that future diminishes with each passing day. Acting now can prevent the most catastrophic outcomes and preserve life for generations to come. The scientific data is overwhelming, and the models leave little doubt. 2040 will be a pivotal year in human history. Whether it represents survival or struggle depends entirely on human action today. Every policy decision, every technological innovation, and every personal choice matters. As glaciers melt, oceans rise, and storms intensify, humanity faces challenges on an unprecedented scale. Social, economic, and environmental systems will all be tested. The resilience of communities, the adaptability of societies, and the wisdom of leadership will determine the fate of billions. We must prepare, innovate, and act collectively. Science provides the roadmap, but implementation requires courage, collaboration, and urgency. The future of 2040 is a reflection of the present moment. Every individual, government, and organization must recognize the gravity of the warning and respond accordingly. Failure to act now will have consequences that are irreversible. Success will require a combination of technology, policy, and global cooperation. Renewable energy adoption, sustainable practices, conservation efforts, and ethical use of technology will define the world of 2040. Education, awareness, and proactive planning are critical components of global preparedness. The climate will not wait, and the social and technological changes will not pause. Humanity must rise to meet these challenges or face unprecedented disruption. The warning is clear, the science is robust, and the time to act is now. 2040 will not be a distant future. It is approaching rapidly, and its realities are already unfolding. The global community must recognize the stakes, prioritize action, and implement solutions immediately. Every decision, every innovation, and every policy counts. Environmental protection, technological ethics, and social equity must guide human action. The time to act is now, before the consequences become irreversible. Scientists warn, but hope exists if humanity chooses to listen and act responsibly. The world in 2040 will reflect our decisions today, whether it is a world of resilience or a world of crisis. The survival of ecosystems, the stability of human societies, and the ethical use of technology will all be tested. Global cooperation, informed policy, and individual responsibility will determine the outcome. The future is not predetermined. It is shaped by the actions we take in this very moment. Acting collectively, responsibly, and urgently can secure a future where humanity and the planet thrive. Failing to act risks unprecedented disasters, social upheaval, and irreversible ecological damage. The choice is ours: immediate, decisive action or catastrophic consequences. The warnings from science are clear, and the data is undeniable. Every policy, innovation, and action must be guided by sustainability, equity, and foresight. From environmental protection to technological ethics, the pathway to 2040 requires coordinated effort. The global community must respond with urgency, foresight, and collaboration. Every individual, government, and organization has a role to play. The survival and prosperity of future generations depend on the choices made today. 2040 will arrive, whether we are ready or not, and its outcomes will be determined by our actions now. The world's climate, ecosystems, societies, and technologies are interconnected, and disruption in one affects all. Action is imperative. Delay is dangerous. The warnings are clear. 2040 will challenge humanity, but solutions exist if we act decisively. Science provides the roadmap, but implementation depends on human will, cooperation, and ethical responsibility. The responsibility is collective, global, and urgent. We have the knowledge, the technology, and the capability to create a sustainable, equitable, and resilient future, but only if we act now. 2040 is approaching rapidly, and the choices we make today will echo for decades, shaping the world for generations to come. Let this be a call to action, a warning, and a guide. The future depends on what we do today. Immediate action, responsible innovation, and global cooperation are the only ways to ensure that humanity and the planet thrive in 2040 and beyond. The clock is ticking, the future is forming, and the responsibility lies with every one of us. The choice is clear, the warnings are real, and the time to act is now.